Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at Luna. And just before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but unless you've been living under a rock, you're looking at about 43,000, nice 9% decrease yesterday, and it's only going to potentially continue lower. We don't know for sure how low it'll go. I would say between 41 and 42 would probably be the bottom based on Fibonacci retracement levels, previous support patterns. But ultimately, at this point, we just need to kind of, I would say, for the most part, dollar cost average is kind of the foundation of what you should be doing right now. Don't take any long positions that are, day trades, for example. There's kind of a risky scenario right now because everything's kind of on a knife's edge, right? Or a razor's edge, whatever you call it. So anyways, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I love teaching people how to trade. Hopefully you can learn a thing or two here today. I've got a trading community as well, designed with the specific purpose of helping you become a better trader. And I'm also rolling out the Trading Academy at the end of this month that'll be included for members as well. So just keep that in mind. It's all stuff that's here to hopefully help you because I just love helping people get better financially. So let's take a look here at Luna and see what's going on. So we're obviously on the way down, but as we can kind of tell, there's some previous support levels. Let me just go ahead and identify this really quick. So this was a previous all-time high, right at about 78.37. Okay, that's price is testing that level right now. There's also got this line here. This is basically the one-day candlestick close high, right? Which I feel to be a stronger support and resistance level. So that's going to be the new support essentially right now. And then of course we've got 73.30, which is the lowest point in which the price went yesterday. So it's kind of just a support channel, you could say, minus the fact that I think 78.26 might be a potential resistance, but we'll see here soon. And so is $80 even. So the best way to summarize it is that we got $80 as a resistance and 73.30 as a support with a couple of other, secondary support and resistance levels in between. Okay, so taking a look at some of the moving averages, you can see the 50s working its way up. That could potentially help us out eventually. We've got RSI that's down under 50 now, which is not ideal because that's supposed to work as a support level. We pretty much blew right past that. Not to say it's, we're down from here, right? But it just means that we kind of lost that key level support right at about $80. And now we're at a point in which, the price could be considered more bearish and the price is going down. I know you're probably asking yourself, well, obviously it's bearish. We've had 6 days or 5 days straight of, red candlesticks. Why wouldn't it be? Well, the one-day candles, it takes a little while for that sentiment to dissipate, right? But at least that bullish sentiment. Now that we're under 50 in the RSI, it'll take a little while for that bearish sentiment to dissipate as well, right? So, what goes down must come up in some cases. Not to say Luna has to come up, but the likelihood of it coming up is pretty high. But the important thing here is that the price doesn't go any lower than $73, or sorry, no lower than 75, because this one-day candlestick here, this is higher highs, right? And this would be effectively a higher low if you consider it that way. So yes, we're making lower lows and lower highs in the shorter term, but the macro, if you look at the big picture here, you can see that if that price doesn't go any lower than this previous high, we're going to be in good shape and that support is holding. So ultimately, I would say that the most important thing to consider would be $75 as the point of contention. The price comes down below that and we get the one-day candlestick to close below 75. We'd probably have significant bearish divergence and essentially be on our way down. But obviously the MACD is reflecting that we are on our way down here, but that is a bit exaggerated because of a 9% correction from Bitcoin, which effectively, what was that? How much was that for Luna? From top to bottom, that was a 16% correction from Luna. So it's almost, in a sense, 2xing Bitcoin's, nonsense, right? So if Bitcoin decides to go down to 42,000 or 41,000, we could expect maybe a 3 to 5% correction from Luna. So again, not terrible as long as we close above $75 on the one-day candlestick. Okay, I think that's a really important point to bring up. Another thing to understand is we're under the 200-day set moving average right now. That will effectively reiterate the fact that $78 is a resistance. It's kind of concurrent with that price action. The 200 is, of course, going to hold that down, but the 50 is moving its way down as well. We don't really need to worry about that, but the 200 is a big deal on the 4-hour chart. But we can see RSI came well below 30 yesterday. So got, pretty beaten down. It's not to mean, and I'm not telling you to buy the dip here, but I can tell you though that generally speaking, when you have an RSI that low, oftentimes you can be fairly successful in the short term if you were to add to your position, because the likelihood of it increasing is fairly high. In other words, it's considered to be extremely oversold, therefore good value based on the overall average last 14 candlesticks, right? That's essentially what it's telling us. Taking a look here, of course, we also got the MACD that we do see a slight, a bearish, the bearish sentiment is dissipating, so to speak, where the bulls are not even close to taking control, but the bearish control is waning, if you will. So in other words, we are definitely looking at a consideration here where the price could be shifting, or obviously the price could recover. And there's a decent chance that Luna will continue to progress upwards of 80 plus. We just have some really strong resistances in our way, and we need to kind of, in my opinion, I wouldn't say necessarily wait. If you want a dollar cost average, perfectly fine. But I like to say wait in the sense of the fact that if you're going to take just a short-term swing trade or something that might be buy today, sell tomorrow, or sell in a few days, you might want to wait for confirmation because the price could effectively continue to progress downwards. Once again, $75 is holding as a nice key level support. That's excellent. We need it to happen. But until we get this, this consolidation or a little bit more confidence from Bitcoin, which isn't going to happen for a little while, we need to kind of respect those resistances that are in our way, right? So just again, some friendly advice. You can literally do what you want, but I'm holding off on taking any major positions at this moment, and we are as a community too, just because we need to make sure the bottom is in from Bitcoin, at least the tentative bottom, right? Because that last bottom we had lasted a full month, right? And this one could essentially be the same way. We just need to wait a little bit longer. But again, Luna has good, strong fundamentals. I think the likelihood of it increasing in the near future is inevitable. I don't see any problem with that. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't hesitate to add to your position. Just don't put everything you've got into this one thing, right? That's the key here. Good traders will, you'll spread out your funds proportionately instead of just going all in one. Because you hear about these people that get really lucky with one coin, and that's all well and good, but luck doesn't factor in. This is trading. This isn't luck. This isn't gambling, because gambling is lucky, whereas trading is more so skill set and anticipating and risk tolerance. Okay. Anyways, enough about that. Let's look at the 1 hour call today here. Ishimoku Cloud, I'm sure we're well under. We are, but keep this in mind, which is kind of a nice sign. This doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woods yet. We've still, 3 out of 3 for bearish signals. But the lagging span is soon to intersect with the price action, so the price doesn't come down much further. That would essentially tell us if we have a short position where we want to close at. That's a good sign. It tells us there's potential for reversal with the MACD, of course, potentially intersecting with the price action in the next couple of days. Okay, so again, we've got some positive things there yet, but we're still a little early, still premature. We need more stability from Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can go sideways for the next week, for example, then Luna will take back off. That's almost an inevitability. So just bear that in mind. There's a lot of concurrence with the price action from Bitcoin right now. And as we can see, this is standard stuff, but we can see a lot of overtime type of selling off, so to speak, where we should have stopped at a 9 on TD sequential, but the price kept coming down for Bitcoin. Therefore, Luna got sold off as well. Because you got to keep in mind too, Luna's a profitable coin for a lot of people. What's the first thing people do is they take profits on coins that they have profits left to take, right? Because oftentimes people are holding on to their coins that they're underwater on, but they're selling coins that they're profitable with, right? So you got to understand, Luna has been a profitable coin for a lot of people. Therefore, it sold off almost 2x of Bitcoin. And that's a good understanding to have, and just to note that as well. So in summary here, we're pretty much at this consolidation phase. We're not by any stretch of the imagination recovering, and Luna's not going to go to the moon tomorrow, so get that out of your head. But just note that $75 is a key level support. If we break below that in the one-day candlestick, we need to reevaluate and understand what's going to happen next. If we can close above, just say $78 on, or preferably even 80 on the one-day candlestick, then we're going to be looking in a much better shape to have that bullish convergence, that shift in momentum to get us to the upside. I like where Luna is at right now. It's not terrible. It held up fairly well. It's holding at a key level support, and that's important. But the next 24 to 40 hours will really tell us what's going to happen in the near future with Luna. Because it doesn't look great, but it definitely isn't terrible, if that makes sense. It's kind of the state of the nation right now, right? Every coin looks terrible, but great because it's a good opportunity, but it sucks that we lost our money if you didn't sell on time, right? And who is to note that? Obviously, it's in hindsight's 2020, so don't kick yourself over that. Learn from your mistakes, and hopefully we can find a better place for Luna here soon. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this again tomorrow, see what's going on. But once again, 75, key level support, 78 to 80, key level resistance, and we're right there in between. Okay. I hope you found benefit here today. If so, comment below. If not, that's okay too. Feel free to join my community. Awesome group of folks there. I think you're going to love it. And I look forward to getting to know you better and working with you as well. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.